Hello everyone and welcome to your 8th Zbrush tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to learn about Z-spheres and how to modify them, how to edit them, and how to create shapes using Z-spheres. And also we're going to check something in the lightbox called Zee-zoo, which is really interesting. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our ZBrush, and in our simple brush here, when we click, usually we choose one of these 3D meshes, and we always avoid something called the Z-sphere. Today we're going to learn about the Z-sphere and how to use it. So first thing we're going to do is just click on the Z-sphere. If you just click and drag, you're going to have an interesting shape that is colored red, and this is the Z-sphere. Now this is a very interesting concept because as you can see is that if you just do it, you're going to have the same problem that we always have if we're just drawing. So we're just going to Control New. What you need to do is the same thing as you do with the other 3D meshes. You actually have to click the Edit. So now we're in 3D mode where we can actually edit the shape. Now if you hover over it, you can see you have this circle, and if you just click and drag, you can see that we're creating a sphere, a new sphere inside the sphere, and it looks like it's connecting it with a bunch of other, connections or spheres. So the more you click and drag, the more you're creating more of these spheres. Okay, so we're just gonna do one for now so I can show you how to actually work with it. Okay, so let's draw one. The first thing you want to do is actually we're going to use this move and scale and rotate button. So if you just hit move, you can see that if you click and drag, you can actually drag the sphere like that. And if you want to draw another sphere again, you just hit draw, click another sphere, and then move it again like that. Maybe draw another sphere here. You can actually draw spheres inside too, like making joints. And I can just hit move and see that we can actually move the extra sphere. Sort of F, go back. So you can actually move these joints however you want. And usually when people are working with these spheres, they use the symmetry button. So the hotkey for symmetry is just X. And with X you have a symmetry. So let's see if we can actually work with symmetry. Let's do this one. So because we're still in the move, we just moved it. Let's do the draw. And as you can see, we have two dots now, and it's just all over the place. Okay. Let's see. Let's go here. So if you want to be more technical, I would recommend starting from the beginning, working with symmetry, but we're just going to do something a bit experimental today, honestly. So as you can see, just with the move, I'm moving like in a symmetrical way. And even the scale, as you can see, we can scale. So you just click and drag and you can scale it. Let me see, rotate. You're rotating basically only the sphere itself. But let's draw something else. Let's draw like this and move. The other thing is, if you just say like I made extra spheres that I don't need, if you just hit the Alt, you can actually delete it. So Alt and click will delete your spheres like that. So you can just hit Alt and start deleting your spheres. And that's pretty much it actually. Let me see if I can do something else with these spheres. Let's make something big. And then we can just add more and more and try to do something like a bit, insane. And then try to move it. So basically it's very straightforward. If you're just playing around, you can see you can move, you can scale, you can sort of scaling, so I move. The thing is, if you move, you can move either the joint itself or the Z-sphere itself. So it just works both ways if you're in the move command. And since we have the symmetry on, then you can see that it's moving on both sides. So we have this, and that's pretty much it, honestly. Let me see if we can draw something else. Okay, let's make it here something big. So you can do a lot of crazy shapes just by, you know, playing around. So we'll move. And just draw something here. I'm not doing anything that makes sense, I know. It's just playing around with these spheres, so we'll know exactly how to work with it. Okay, let's say you're done. Obviously, this is just a complete mess of nothing, but I'm sure like you guys will figure out something to do with this. Not feeling very creative today, so there's that. And it's just one of those days. Okay. So let's say you're done. You're like, wow, what a creative shape. Yeah. Anyway, if you want this shape to be, you know, into a mesh, because now this is not a mesh, this is just like a base for a mesh. If you want to make this a mesh, all you have to do is go here, something called adaptive skin, click it. And what you need to do is this Dynamesh resolution. Now, I didn't mention anything about Dynamesh, so I'll just make it 0 because I didn't explain it before, and I will explain it honestly in another tutorial, but make a 0 here and then hit preview. When you hit preview, you can see that all the Z-spheres that we created are now connected into one mesh. So like, if you are having a better day, creativity-wise, you're gonna have something more meaningful than this, obviously. But if you just hit preview, and let's do polyframe, you can see that now we have, you know, a very interesting shape that we might actually use for you know, like a mesh in Zbrush. So let's lower the density, and you can see the higher we do the density, the more, you know, it looks more what is this name? What is it called? It's not, it's more smooth, you know. So let's leave it at 3, which is fine for me. And what you need to do after that is you have to actually click make adaptive skin. Now make sure the preview is on. If the preview is off and you hit make adaptive skin, it's not going to work. You really have to hit preview and hit make adaptive skin. So now we have the mesh that we can actually work with. So you can scale it. You can, okay, let's remove the wireframe. So Shift F, so we'll not see the wireframe anymore. You can draw stuff on it. So I don't know, try to move it a bit maybe. Up. It's too small. Now another trick, okay wait, now the symmetry is on, I need it off. I can see it because we have 2 dots. Just click X and then you're out of it. In deformation, if you hit unify, you will get a smaller size. I don't know how to explain it, but like the brush won't, like if you have a problem with the draw size of the brush, or like shit, this is too big, my brush is too small and it's acting kind of weird, just hit unify and then suddenly, you know, you have a better scale for your shape. So yeah, now it's really easy. We can just do whatever we want with the shape. We can, I don't know, mirror it, we can array it, you can do anything you want. But this is just one of the techniques of creating shapes in ZBrush, which is really a very interesting, you know, concept. The other thing we're going to talk about today is something called the Zee-zoo. Now if you hit the light box, which we've closed every single time, there's a folder here called Zee-zoo. If you double click on it, then you will have the entire library in ZBrush with a lot of really cool animals and insects and, you know, all done with the Z-sphere. So now you can actually see the potential of Z-spheres and what you can actually do with it. Because usually Z-spheres is a very like a really great tool to just, you know, start with the base of every shape you want, and then have all the joints with it, and then you can create all the legs, you can create the head, and it's a really nice, you know, it's really nice that they provided the entire library of just a zoo. So we can just choose any shape we want. Let's say I want this one. Nope. So now you can see we have an entire shape created with a Z-sphere. You can do anything you want with it. So let's say we want to move something. See, so we can move anything we want. We can, I'm just ruining the model, I know. You know, you can make it, you can change the scale. Anything you want. You can do anything you want, maybe rotate even, like that. This is a really cool, you know, feature in ZBrush, which I would highly recommend playing with it. Check out all the other animals they have. They're really cool, honestly. And if you like anything, like let's say you did this and you're like, okay, I can use this for whatever reason. What you can do is go to adaptive skin again, and if you hit preview and you like it, then we're good to go. And that's pretty much it. You can change the density if you want. You can make it more, you know, more polygon, less smooth for the density. And after you're done, let me see, just hit make adaptive skin. And there you go, you have your own, you know, 3D model. So hit draw, so you can actually do stuff with it. Change the brush, whatever you want. Yeah, I'm just literally ruining this guy, I'm so sorry. It's so bad. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I think the whole point of this tutorial is just, you know, to be fearless with these spheres, because I think it's a bit daunting at the beginning. You're like, oh my god, nothing makes sense, or it looks so horrible. This is just a training, you know, a training exercise to just let your hand get the feel of the tool itself. So, you know, mess around, make it ugly, who cares? Nothing bad is gonna happen, just ruin everything. Have fun with it. I would say always, if you want to learn a program, have fun with it, ruin everything, start making weird things, just to like delete the fear of, you know, the fear of having the program, you know, control you and control your creativity. Be like, I'll do it myself, thank you. I'll do whatever I want. So yeah, this is a very ugly moose that I just ruined, and this is just a tutorial. A very quick one also. I think my tutorials now are just quicker, because I feel like we already went past the hard parts for now, and we're just doing the fun parts until, you know, it gets serious again. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.